2020 was an emotional roller coaster. It's time to look back with a smile or a frown. Perhaps both.
It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show on your screens tonight. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show for your home delight. We're talking about Age of Sigmar and anything else that is cool. Talking about Warhammer Fantasy, it's easy to learn the rules. Andy and Remington, Andy and Remington, Andy and Remington Show.
Welcome, one and all. It's time yet again for the Andy and Rem Show. This time, episode 141, end of year special and retrospective. As you can see from this thumbnail, there's a little bit of snow still going on. That's because it has been snowing a little bit in England, possibly in some other places, but definitely here. So it's totally not because I didn't feel like changing any of the streaming setup for this episode. And as I remove the thumbnail from your vision, you'll be greeted by our guests. And of course, as usual, we've got the Remster over there, and his blinds are open. What is going on?
I will be the first to welcome in the weather and put the potentialities of a brighter new year. And I have a tree. Small buds appearing. Signs of new life.
Is this going to be our
Who's at the
latest
window,
thing?
Rem? Who's at the
Pardon?
window?
What's with the window?
There's someone at your window.
About? Is
Not
it?
really. No, it's
Oh,
fine.
you're joking.
Impromptu Halloween show, everyone.
It's the ghost of investments past. Now that we are expecting a tree update every week now, so we expect you to be measuring that thing and letting us know exactly how much it's grown every week. Can you give us a? Do you want to start measuring it now while we introduce our guests?
Aw.
That's cute. I think I have a bush like that.
I shouldn't really keep it above the radiator, should I? But
It'll get lots of
looks-
heat.
Probably.
It looks kind of like, look, it's a woman's body.
Oh
Can
no!
you see that? Or
Oh,
is it just
Rem,
me?
no! Rem, no!
No!
Don't
And
spoil
there's a hand
it.
in between the legs. Kind of interesting. I just noticed that.
Good. You've barbarically shoved a dryad in a pot. Good job.
Poor
Now,
little tree.
as with last
Well,
week,
we
we're also
were wondering where the tree women went, and they've been potted.
They're
That's
They're
what
on
happened to them.
Rem's windowsill.
By the radiator.
with the blinds that are usually closed.
And the scary man looking in.
Yes.
There is a scary guy that lives next door, so you shouldn't say
Is
that.
that the one that yells at his wife?
Yes. Get the speakers on.
Whisper it, but whisper it on a live broadcast to the entire world.
He's called Kieran, and he's a rugby player. And he's a scaffolder. Very scary guy. There you go. We might hear some trouble tonight.
As long as it's not shoving more corpses into the walls, I think we're good.
And Annie, of course, takes a chug there, and I think it's justified. You want to tell us what that beverage is?
What's my beverage? It is a gift from Haley called a ship full of IPA. Brutal Brewing. 0%. So I'm not on the sauce.
Got to have your wits about you on this show.
I have to remain sharp and witty at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're doomed.
And we're also joined by the legendary design guru for this show, the Batzuka. Hello there.
Hello.
And how are
I
you?
think I'm doing pretty well. No snow here. It's actually pretty warm out today, so it's very strange.
Although you did provide us with that wonderful snowman artwork
That
there,
was,
which
that was a lot of fun.
my email inbox has been blowing up with people demanding that it head over to Redbubble. So I think it
know.
will soon.
I have plans for it. I'm very excited.
Yes, so we can look forward to that, everybody. Don't be spending all your Christmas money just yet. And obviously, with it being the end of the year, it's time to look back on what was an interesting 12 months, shall we say. Slightly mundane month and a half in some parts of the world, and then maybe a bit more eventful from that point onward. Not a whole lot of gaming was done, a whole lot of painting was done if your name is Remington. And we're going to look at some of our favourite releases from the year, though, and then just talk in general terms about the year as well. But first, let's whiz through some news items. As you can see on the screen here, we've got a bit of a map, because GW have teased us with the old world again in very early development, and it's not miniatures, it's just a map of Britonia. And of course, we've all seen that a million times. So let's see if there's anything new to offer here. Now, Mr. Remington, you're a bit of an expert in the old world. Is there anything new or notable about this map that they've been showing us?
Let's have a look, shall we? Let's just look at that. What do we see? I didn't know about this.
Finger on
Can
the
you get any
pulse as
close?
always.
Well, you see the different parts of Britonia there. King Luan the Orc Slayer, Castle Baston. Okay, well, if you like Total War Warhammer and you like the Bretonians, they're one of my favourite factions to play. You'll be intimately you intimately know all the different areas of Britonia. But this is new for Martel, for Golil. How do you even say that? For Biduz.
Well, it's a map, and we'll give Remington a week to digest this, and then he'll give us his expert analysis on it next week, I think.
But I think people are going to love this. If this means they're going to bring out like loads of Bretonian models and lore, I think what's not to love about that, right?
What I am a little bit excited about is that I've got the Jean de Clisson, the miniature, coming out next year, which is based off Jean de Clisson from the 100 Years' War, which is very much the base for Bretonians. So I have more reasons for people to buy her, because she would fit in with those. Very nice. And she's sculpted by Kev White. Not just a plug. That was just
yeah, we need to get a cha-ching sound effect whenever you manage to work any of our news items into upcoming Squiddo releases.
And that reminds me of this product from Bad Squiddo.
Speaking of Remington's investment portfolio.
I was going to say, which one's your favourite shield? But okay.
No. Stocks. What's the latest?
Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, ye naysayers.
Oh, wow.
Games Workshop all-time high hit today at £116, 42 pence. Remington right on the button.
So rich.
But I didn't sell it. I nearly did. But I thought, look at that pattern. It's hit 115 and then it took a big dip. You can see that.
Stuck it out.
I stuck it out and now it's clawing its way back up, and it's been there before, so this time it knows how to get past that level. Yeah, we're in extended lockdown situation, so people think that this is a lockdown hobby, right? So people are buying Games Workshop shares.
I don't know if stocks are sentient.
Go like that.
I'm holding, baby, 80%.
Do you not think? Have you not had? You had a taste at the top of the mountain, then you tasted rock bottom. Now you're at the top of the mountain again. Are you not tempted just to plant that flag in the top of the mountain now before you start sliding?
That is what most investors would do, you see. And
is that why they're investors?
No, to become a successful investor, you have to do what the other people don't do. Right? That's what I've done. So you see that dotted line? That's where I've averaged my investment. So I was buying at the bottom to average it down there, and then I bought a bit when it slumped recently. So that's why that dot can move different places. But I've averaged at about £61, I think, something like that.
I guess if you're used to if you're used to the ups and downs, licking the entirety of a mountain, so
yeah. Well, I think if you like the company, then there's no reason why you should sell it if you believe in it. So There you go. But I might sell it next week. Who knows? Who
I
knows?
guess
I did vow I would hold it for a year just to
This
see
is a
what it
roller
would do.
coaster.
it's emotion.
Zen's will he sell it, will it not?
Because this is right after the holidays. So is there another big selling point that would be coming up for Warhammer, or is it
That
just
happened
Christmas
today to every other stock
Ugh.
and yesterday. So that sucked a bit, but yeah, I'm seriously considering selling it very soon. But you see, when something gets to an all-time high, there's no resistance points above it. So who knows where it could shoot to? So it could just keep shooting up.
I
or
don't know if
form a
these
new
are real
one.
things you're saying.
They're
It's
words.
just
I
words.
don't know if the sense
I
is
really
there.
should know more about Bretonia, shouldn't I? But I've been studying this stuff. Sorry.
I thought you were in it for the long haul, Rem.
Well, I am, but if a better
Developed.
investment comes along, then I can take my profits from that and play with pure profit money in the new investment.
Well,
You see
That
what I'm
doesn't
doing
sound
here?
like someone with the love for the hobby at all.
what we've learned is
Oh,
that the
get lost.
stocks,
I've basically kept my local store in business this year.
the
So,
stocks have got the experience of climbing the mountain. Now the stocks know what they're doing. They've become sentient, and there are none of these resistance points.
They're outside your window. They're gonna steal your plant. Everything's awful.
But you have made a fatal error. You're not supposed to
What's that?
announce that you might be selling your stock. You're supposed to be full of confidence and instilling that confidence into the rest of the market, and then you
It's gonna
sell.
plummet now.
You can't just say, "Oh, I might be selling, everybody," and people will be shuffling onto the stock
Well, I would
market
only
floors.
sell it for one thing. There could be only one thing that I sell this for, which I think is a
Sisters of
better
Twilight?
investment.
Money.
Pardon?
Sisters of Twilight.
No, no. Bad Squid Egg Games is one, but seeing as it's not a public listed company yet, it's got to
Just gonna
be.
have to invest raw.
It's got to be Bitcoin.
Oh
Bitcoin.
gosh.
Got to be Bitcoin. Anyway,
has
that's
to
it. I'm not
Can you
talking. I'm
imagine-
not revealing any more Remington $1 million ideas.
No way. I will give you a call. I'm thinking stocks may go down towards spring because they're probably not going to do much for shows right now. But that could be wrong. I'm just curious if that's actually what will happen.
I like your thinking. You see, forward thinking. That's what a good investor does. They don't think about today. They're thinking 2, 3, 6 months in advance.
Well, you're thinking like 6 months in advance in terms of I'm going to sell on that exact day that I've had in mind this whole time, not in terms of what might be happening then. Just you've picked a date in the future and you've thrown a dart into it, and that is when you're selling no matter what.
No, I didn't say I'd sell it. I said I'd consider selling it, and I would have had it for a year.
Flopper.
So that's
Yeah,
fair
actually,
enough.
get some
Totally
comments and
fair.
questions in your chat.
Totally fair.
Let's see what's going on in the chat.
Go on.
Lot.
Okay, so first of all, Stu says, I wonder if AOS will gradually start to lose its player base once the old world returns, or will they remain faithful to the mortal realms? I, for one, will be happy to abandon the mortal realms for the old world if it looks good and it's not obscenely expensive to jump on it.
Andy, what if they make them really small miniatures, like, do you know what I mean? Not 28
War
millimeters.
Master.
Like,
If they release
Yeah.
War Master, I'd be all over that.
Good. They haven't
Really?
said yet, have they?
We saw
That
some
could be the zinger.
designs for some Kislev troops, didn't we? We saw that.
But would they do that though? Everything's big now. The only game
there's no money in it.
the only game that's less than 28mm scale was the Titanicus one, and that was entirely Titans, if I recall.
Yeah,
So-
that's right. They're not gonna do small scale.
Yeah,
Money.
Maybe they'd
So
do it
Some
like
people might play both though. Maybe the people who came over from Warhammer are now AOSing, and then this comes out, and they're already invested in AOS, and they like it, and then they go, "Ooh, Warhammer that I knew and loved is back. Let's play that too." And then, cha-ching.
Owen thinks that we'll have diamond bases. Well, that's not the case because I think they've already confirmed square bases.
Okay. That's
I mean, I know, going back to Bretonia, there was only ever one Bretonia lore book written, wasn't there? The 6th edition or 5th edition or 4th edition? I don't know. There's only one ever lore book, and ever since then, Bretonian fans have been waiting saying, like 20 years or something.
Really, it was like the last one they didn't really update, wasn't it, before they killed it?
Yeah. It's actually a
It was one of
great
the
book,
old
though.
ones.
It's actually a great book. Really interesting laws in it, completely taking off the Arthurian legends and like you say, 100 Years
Years
War.
War.
Yeah.
Now, they've also, GW dipped their toes into memes, so we'll have a quick look at these. So I don't think we need to discuss them in any great detail, but there's that one.
That's pretty good, actually. I was cynical there, but
Yeah, so we've seen that one. Then there's this one. Not a fan of that one. How about this one?
a bit of an old school style meme, isn't it? It's nearly a lol cat.
Yeah. You got the rage faces almost at that point.
What do you think a good plot twist for the old world could be?
It was all a dream.
Yeah, or Archaon regrets what he's done because he used to be a Sigmarite priest, you see. Right, so what if he like comes back to the light? That would be good.
So that's their best meme offering.
A pie.
Yeah, they're
Owen Lee's got a good point in the comments. He says they're going to have to release some Killer Knights of the Realm because the Duvolt miniature box series are extremely good alternative, which they are. But I guess they're going to have to put their own IP spin on it anyway.
they won't be riding on horses anymore. It'll be a different kind of horse that they've got now. Like horse, it won't be horse with bird heads because that's been done. It'll be some other kind of mutant horse.
Pighead.
Andy, did you ever, or girls, did you ever play against or with a Bretonnian army?
Yes. Played lots of Warhammer 8th edition. Played against them lots in their big long trains.
What army
with all the heroes in the middle.
What army did you use to fight them?
I used undead vampire counts and chaos dwarves.
Ooh.
You blow them up.
And may I ask, how did you fare against the men of the lady?
Fairly well. God, I can remember as well. The undead, you just trap them, because they put all their points into this big killer. That's what everyone was playing. The big killer units with the heroes all nestled in the middle. So you just go in the front, jam them, and then slam the flank with some white knights. Not white knights. Whatever they were called. Graveguard inside.
Blood Knights.
Yeah, or something good, not Blood Knights. Graveguard. And then kill them that way. And the Chaos Dwarves, you just explode them from afar.
Nice. I played them once.
Die in them.
I got absolutely caned. I brought my beastmen against them, and a guy called Anthony, Sustainable Center, I was playing him, and he just did the Bretonnian charge lance with the heroes in the front, like you said, and just like devastated me in like 2 turns.
I only played.
That was it. They like stayed in the middle, and then when they got into combat, it meant they could go to the front. Yeah, that was it. Because I had the similar with the Black Knights as well. It was the Black Knight bus with all the same. So they were all protected when they were moving around, and then they go into combat and they can go.
Pretty sure I only played one tournament game against Bretonnians, and it was the last game at Adepticon. And my opponent was very depressed looking because he'd been seriously whooped in some previous rounds. And I would not go so far as to say I threw the game, but there were certain things that I should have done tactically that I chose not to because I just thought it would make for a more entertaining game, like targeting war machines at the wrong thing for comedy purposes. But he was barely even looking at the table. He was chatting to 2 people most of the time because he was so miserable.
Should have killed him, slain him, and should have ended him.
Destroyed his entire career. No, that's very sweet. Because
yes, it is.
You should still have fun with these games, not just destroy everyone that I meet.
Now, if we'd been on the top table, that would have been another matter. But considering we were fighting for the honour of absolutely nothing.
Not even the spoon?
No, we weren't even in contention for last place. So it's just that boring spot in the table where you can't win anything. Except just the random prizes they were giving away. And they would announce that there was a prize being given away, and the first person to shout something loud enough would get the prize. And my luggage was already overflowing at Adepticon. There was no way I even wanted a prize, so I didn't even attempt. Not that I would be shouting too loud in a tournament hall anyway.
Stu Gibson is out for blood and agrees with Annie. You should have wrecked him.
It was a
Or
pity
them,
play.
whoever they
That was
were.
it. Pity play.
Well, the other depressed-looking guy I played against at Adepticon,
How many?
only 2.
Were they depressed at the start?
This one was depressed in game 2 purely because he saw that I had dwarf war machines against his ogres.
Mm.
And he knew who I was, though, because this was the guy where I introduced myself and he said, "I know."
I get what he's going for, but that's ominous as all get out.
Yes, celebrity status confirmed at that point.
Boom.
But I did win that game, and that didn't help his mood. Organ guns.
So you're hobby killing, really?
I was hobby killing as the world was about to blow up anyway, so they would have left regardless, so it's fine.
Yeah, Andy would put this annoying dwarf engineer next to like 3 different types of dwarf siege weaponry, and yeah, it would annihilate things.
Dang, Owen Lee thinks you have a OP list.
Evil. I'm just
Okay,
checking out these Fireforged Templar Knights cavalry
Hey,
on
Rem,
Google. They look
did
brilliant.
you know they're all available from Bad Squiddo Games?
No way.
Cha-ching! You did
Yeah,
it
Bad
again!
Squiddo Games
Yeah,
is just
stock
like
all
a
the
monster.
Fireforge. I don't own it.
Look,
Stock
all
it.
these games. You've just
Stock all
got
the Fireforge because they're really good.
you've got this empire going on, man. I want in.
It is an actual business, Rem. We were
Start
discussing
buying more of
that.
their things.
The Bad Squiddo
Quite a large business.
The Bad Squiddo freight train, if you will, is an unstoppable juggernaut, and Remington is only just spotting it somehow.
Yeah.
What about this then for a New Year's twist? I'd take my Games Workshop shares, sell them, and put the money into Bad Squiddo Games.
What, you mean like you just post the money in through Bad Squiddo's letterbox?
I don't know. If we could be like an investor, help Annie
Yeah.
do something special with it, and maybe.
Oh, we could do something really cool.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that before. It'd be fun, wouldn't it? And it'd be like,
Yeah.
who paid
Don't
for this?
ruin it
Games
now.
Workshop.
Yeah, it's like, pin it after the show. We gotta keep going.
Don't say that. Don't say, I'll invest in you, I've got this money. Oh, by the way, I'm wildly inexperienced.
Yep, come on, Rem, we'll sort that out.
I'll just be this silent investor that comes up with the occasional $1 million idea.
That's not silent.
And then that's $500,000 each. Boom. Well,
Well,
it's sort of like 10 grand for you, maybe the rest. Bad Squiddo, reinvestment, blah blah.
Don't forget my cut as
the get an introduction fee or something.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Pretty sure that's contractually obligated. Now we've got some pointy-eared people on the screen right now. Rem's cup of tea, I'm sure, as we scroll down these. Witches with chains and bare feet up, kind of.
Right, these are cool. These could easily be witch elves, couldn't they?
Love the hair.
Is this new?
Probably.
No, it's 40k. It's 40k, isn't it? It's
That's
the new
Lilith
new box set.
Hesperax or something, isn't it? Or is it a new one? Because
These have got to be new.
Oh,
these are awesome. I do like these.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more.
Joust.
They've just got a little bit of Eastern flavour to them, Eastern promise, these models, haven't they? You know, like the Turkish Delight advert. I like them.
You just give these wings, this is Joust.
What are they for?
So
Slanesh stuff.
The Hedonites for Slanesh deal?
Yes, they're very sleek. Look, you can see the Slanesh. You can see the Slanesh symbol branded into its thigh there.
Oh.
It's like a weird fish lizard with a tail.
It's like a fish mounted on top of velociraptor legs. It's very strange.
Yeah.
See if there's more. I've seen them all now. Scroll down.
They don't
Oh,
have
and
any
some of them
hair.
have bows as well, obviously.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, these
Some
are
of them
super
have
bad.
toes, some of them have hooves. This is a very interesting. I like these designs. They're very like seahorse.
Do you say hooves or hoofs?
I say hooves.
Hooves.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
say hooves.
I would say it behooves.
Ah.
Ooh.
Or with
Yes, so we've
bows.
got-
Look at that firing action. No string on the bow, though.
We've got bow cavalry and we've got spear cavalry there. There's also archers, foot archers. They look amazing.
A hoop and a
That
toe.
one looks strange from this angle. It looks like it doesn't even have a
Tail.
bow.
Yeah.
Look, what's going on with the weaponry here? Is it just so flat from this angle you can't see
No,
the
they're
bow?
pulling it. They're doing that, so they're going
Yeah,
that
it's
way.
very flat.
You know, if you chop the legs off, that could be like an eel.
That's true.
Oh, the tail is kind of coy
Yeah.
tail.
Very odd.
I like its little doot nose. That's cool.
And a little. It's like tongue, like anteater tongues everywhere.
Doot.
Kitties.
Okay, and then what about the Slangor? Remington's choice.
Oh, this is awful, man. This is why did they have to ruin it with this guy?
Oh, you don't like crab cow?
Not really,
Crab
no.
man.
Crab goat.
Crab man.
Goat.
Crab goat.
They
Look,
just
there's
had
m-
some like
there's
awesome
multiple
figures
crab
and then
goats.
round it off with this trash. Come on, man.
I want to know how he's able to put up that stocking with a crab for one hand.
What about this one with
I don't
two?
agree
This one has two
It's quite
crab
a sexy
hands.
leg.
Yeah, you can't put on anything.
Imagine if that was your job. You had to pull the tights or the stockings up on the Slangor because they've got crab hands and can't do it
That's your
themselves.
job, yeah.
Somebody
Well-
probably doesn't get paid, but somebody has to do that.
Is it confirmed that that's
Oh.
actually their real hand, or is that just like an arm they put over their hand?
I would
It's
assume.
literally just they gave some designer a bits box and say, look, see what you can do with that.
I mean,
Like
recycling
crab
is
hand
good.
guy.
What do you think, Annie? You're the miniature expert here. What do
I
you think? What
like
do you
it.
reckon?
I like the crab hands going on there and the sexy stocking.
Killer
It goes
combo.
very-
Crab hand. Well,
Was
they're
Slanesh
crab
always like on
hands
it?
on anything's the best. Crab hands.
And
Yeah,
then
she's awesome.
Oh,
That-
she's cool, yeah.
Ooh, I like her.
Yeah,
Got
that's
the
a good
gladiator
pose.
boots on. Gladiator sandals.
Yeah, that's ace.
It's fair to say
Oh.
GW, I'm sure they've been watching our show because we did a whole show and with Annie on it all about female miniatures, didn't we? And
I did invent the concept of women.
yeah,
That is
and
true.
it's-
In
and it's
general.
no,
I didn't exist before then.
No,
there was
they've gone into
none.
overdrive with female miniatures now.
Nah, they've been really good at it lately. They've got quite a long lead time as well. I think it was just like a few years ago, some other people got in charge and went, "Hey, we should do more female models." And then they did some, and then people actually bought them. Who would have thought? So now they're just doing more and more, which is ace. It's really
Oh,
good.
Really like how they
They're
painted
cool.
the
Oh man, what are they for then?
feathers on the arrows.
Are they
These are brilliant.
Slanesh?
these are all
Yes.
Slanesh as well.
They're really nice.
Really
Oh,
nice.
very
aren't they?
jealous of those. I like them a lot.
Oh, that one's interesting.
Why don't you? You should buy the company, Annie.
Yeah,
I'm out. Consume them.
those ideas of yours, Rem. Like, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it.
Okay, that's
Your
all of that.
investment. Do
Okay,
it.
so we've looked at everything on offer there. Now, before we go any further, let's have a look at some piles of Christmas presents that were submitted by the community. So first of all, this was from Stu. This was on the Discord server where everyone should be furiously posting away 24 hours a day and not turning it into a barren wasteland. So, let's have a look. It looks a bit 40k-ish for my liking, this. It's not very good at all, I'm afraid. Stu. Disappointing.
Ooh.
I suppose it's quite wingy. Oh,
Do you like
that was
tatted
that was more of a zoom than I expected.
Oh,
So it's obviously a nice model, but it's at the end of the day, it's a space marine, which means we don't like it.
Well,
Andy
you-
ruins
you-
your Christmas
fine.
presents.
Yes,
Oh,
I-
whoever got you that mustn't like you.
that would be a great service I could provide for a small fee. Actually, I could do a live link up with people as they open their presents and provide scathing commentary on them.
Buzzkill.
Yes, I think that would go down quite well. So,
What's this?
next
I like it though.
pile of stuff. Now, this came to us from our very own Vat Zuka, who should be seated right next to me here on the screen. Look at all that stuff.
Yeah.
Some damn good gift in there.
I know. I'm very excited. Rem, I got some scenics too. Now I can be cool and paint them.
Yeah, speaking of scenics, we're going to see the Remington painted scenics in a little while.
Don't mind the pop in the background. That was just propping up things.
Very stylish, including the Citadel paint handle.
Yes, because I did not own one. And I'm very excited about the brushes, and I'm very excited about the Mantic Dead Zone vermin, and I want to get more of them. I'm very excited.
Space rats.
The figure holder looks different. This is the one I've got.
So that's, yeah, because yours is all hefty. Wouldn't mind go.
This looks a bit more elegant.
Yours is
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah, they're free.
That's the new one.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So, because it does have the double situation here, so you can do that pop or that, and then they expand out. I assume like that one does.
Yeah.
I have to be
Nice.
careful though, because I have a very big model base in one of these. It's one of
Right.
the brute-looking dudes. I have to
I
like
always
extend this
forget
all
to
the way
use
out.
mine. I don't know about anyone. I always forget to use mine. I was here, but I just, you know what I mean? Because I'm usually working on about 3 or 4 models at once, so I just pick them up as I go.
Is that when you use the Remington handle?
Can you just remind me what that was again? I've so many inventions, I can't remember what they are anymore.
There must have been one, and I'm sure it was in some way terribly depraved.
Each invention is like a child, you know? I've spawned so many now. They're like my songs.
Born so many children.
that didn't really come out the way I meant it to. Sorry. Can we move on?
Well, everywhere I look, there's all these little children skipping around with Remington-esque facial hair.
Yeah. That's who was at the window. It's all his kids.
Looking at some of the comments in the chat as well.
Let's see what we've got going on in the chat.
Owen Lee got a limited edition Risk the board game. Do the box of little plastic soldiers count as miniatures?
Yeah.
That is true. Limited edition Risk, so is that classic Risk and not that version where you have to destroy the game as you play it? I know
There's
that
a version where you just what? I've only
Yeah.
played classic, I think.
it's Risk Legacy, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, so as you play, you actually demolish parts of it, so you can only play it once, I think. But I'm not sure I'm a fan of those kind of games where you have to actually annihilate them as you play.
yeah.
Call me old school, but I like to play a board game twice.
I'm with you on that one, so I guess I'm a bit old school myself. It's classic, but with a wooden box and nicer presentation. Ooh, so nicely packaged.
Now, what we're going to look at here is a silent trailer, because I don't want to get this video demonetized, because I want that 12 pence that I'm going to get from this video. Gosh darn it.
I did
So,
see that sweet dollar of yours earlier in the week.
Oh, you should
And
sign
these
it. and staple it
massive
to the
amounts
wall.
of cash.
it's a silent trailer
This
from
is
the
a new
people
video game.
from the people that brought you
I-
Vermintide.
Mhm. This is the 40K version of it.
Yes, and it's silent.
Yeah, because we're not.
Dark Tide. You would think that you're just going to play Space Marines, but no, not a Space Marine
Andy,
in
you
sight.
should do the voiceover for us.
Ugh.
Look at that. Look
Splat.
at that.
Fight with
Stab.
It's the same
guys.
mechanics. It looks
How?
Be the killer. Your own hero.
I'm just saying. I'm
Big
down for
arm
trying
guy.
this out. I do love the Vermintide style stuff.
Now, you'd think from the first scene that it's all close combat, but now they're about to whip their guns out, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
That's the whole deal before. Like Vermintide was ranged and ooh, hello lady.
I have a
Looks
feeling
like
this
Joan
game
of Arc.
this game will sway slightly more towards ranged, I would assume, since it's 40k.
I don't know. If it's gonna do that same difficulty thing where there's friendly fire, it's gonna be real dangerous.
Yeah, you
They're
hear
probably
that,
gonna do a lot
Rem?
more firefights.
Friendly fire.
No.
Oh, who's that?
Ferocious
Fanny.
looking.
That was Joan of Arc. Well, she's a sister. She's one of the sisters of Thingy.
He's very nonchalant with the way he was taking out those chaos fiends of some kind.
He's like a
Chilled.
Blood Bowl ogre, that guy.
I was wondering what he was about. He's a large dude.
Lord.
Large.
Which one would you be then if you played this, Andy?
I don't know, because it's hard to tell, because the three ones that aren't giant hulking creatures, it's difficult
that lady
to
with the
differentiate
hammer.
them without actually playing it or seeing more info, because they all look
I think
very
I'd like
similar.
to be the big dumb ogre.
Do
You
it.
know,
I want to be
brutal.
the lady that was so ready to murder with that hammer. I am for it.
Now then, let's talk about our favourite releases from 2020. It was such a fantastic year for everybody. So these particular miniatures were from the early part of the year when we thought perhaps we might actually have a year and not just this gap in many people's lives where not a lot happened.
We
So,
were so young.
yes,
Full of life.
right at the start of the year, I was very excited about my Kings of War Abyssal Dwarves with the brand new releases that Mantic put out, including these grotesques. And these are my personal models in the pictures here because why not? And very horrifying looking indeed. And the best thing about these models is that I was never able to take them to a tournament yet because bad stuff happened this year. There haven't been any tournaments. Well, there was one actually that I couldn't go to. That's the only one I know of that happened in this country. So, more pictures. Yay!
Yay!
Very nice
Oh,
models.
okay.
I like.
Nice snow
Andy,
effects
you've done
there
a
as
good
well.
job there. They
Yeah,
look
right.
they look better close up, you know, for me.
I really like the metallic effect you have on it.
Then there's also
What
this
is
guy.
a grotesque?
Those were grotesques back there, and this is the little hex caster as well that they also put out.
Aw.
People didn't, when they saw the stat line in the rules, they didn't think it'd be a lava beetle, but that's what it is. Yeah.
I like the spider.
And then finally,
Bug.
the central focus of the whole army, the Hellfane. And mine, actually this is an old picture because in the more recent pictures there's a bit more silver on it, but you get the idea. So, big lava rhino of doom with a guy standing on it. Two other guys standing on it. Very big, very nice. Expensive by Mantic standards, but it's also just a huge chunk as well. So it will double as a weapon if someone breaks into your home. Very large indeed. So this one, this release of 2020, I believe may just have been submitted by someone possibly in here. Could it have been?
Maybe.
Or maybe
Well,
an
I've never seen
anonymous
those
member of the
before, so-
community. So what are these? They look like
These
picnic
are-
tables.
No, they are dining tables by Bad Squiddo Scenics. They come in all single pieces, so that's 4 pieces. Obviously, I've chosen them and they're from my range, but I absolutely love them. I'm still a fan of my own stuff, so it's not like it's just product. I just love them. They're so cool. And they're all, the fact it's all to one piece blows my mind because I didn't think that was possible for casting.
Yeah.
But it is. And yeah, there's loads of little like cooking-y food bits that go with them, and they make me really happy. I think there's not enough stuff like that out there. So
And
And,
what's
yeah.
what's this? Another?
what? Another Bad Squiddo? How did that get in there? That's Yada the Subtle, who is based on my friend Jade, who is a Shield Maiden reenactor,
We
and
can't
has
see
helped
her
me out a lot
face.
this year by being a Shield Maiden. And this was based on a video that I took of her killing this chap at this year.
Yeah.
Yay! And it makes me
Oh,
happy
that's better.
because it's a badass model, and that I got the references video footage as well of that happening. I just
That's
so
very
happened to be there because I was like, "Oh, Shield Maidens, film all the Shield Maidens."
Let's get
I
some
went,
more.
"Hang on, I know you." So I just think that's cool as heck.
Someone else got it.
Next. Now, we already looked at these a couple of weeks ago, I think, so there is no actual picture of them at the moment. But
Ooh.
Oathmark
Oh.
Skeleton Infantry. Now, why did you submit these?
I think they are the best skeletons out there. And they're just so cool. They're Bronze Agey style. They remind me of the old school GW ones, but better. And that's it really, because I love the old school GW ones. I like how they fit together, like the sizing and everything. And they're very, but it's almost like they're more modern. They're a bit less clunky, but still simple. They don't have tons going on. It's still bones, just a bit of metal, tiny bit of rag. They're not overly complicated.
Do you get options there, Annie? Do you get like a sword and shield, spear and shield?
Yeah,
bow?
there's loads. There's loads of archer options in them as well. Also stocked by Bad Squiddo Games. But
Wow.
they are the release. They only release, other than my own stuff this year, that made me go like that.
I
when
feel
saw
like I
them.
bring this movie up a lot. Was it Skeletons in Clash of the Titans, or was it one of the other ones
Yes.
that they
It
reminded me
was
of? Yeah.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Jason
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Argonauts, thank you. That's what they remind me of, and
yeah.
I really like them.
That's it. That's what.
I think next time we do a RemCon, we should have an investors trip with all the people that come, and we can look at the Bad Squiddo warehouse, see where all the magic takes place. What about that?
Yeah.
Well, Andy Palooza is still waiting for his guest to arrive, of course. His guest to arrive. RemCon will be thriving. What do you think,
We'll see
Annie?
about that.
Perhaps
Yes.
for the right
That's a
price.
yes.
We haven't even discussed AnyCon, so
That is true.
AnyCon?
SquidCon.
yeah. GoodCon.
SquidCon.
Good con.
AnyFest.
Anyfest. I love it.
AnyFest.
Not AnyVest. It's just me in a vest. Hey.
Now, so what's the deal with
Can you
this?
go now?
Because you also submitted this as one of your favourite
Oh,
releases of the year.
What? Also
Frostgrave.
stocked by Bad Squiddo. I love plastic box sets. So when we were talking about the Fireforge ones earlier, I stock all the fantasy box sets that I like, which is a lot. So Frostgrave Wizards 2 is particularly good because it's all female, but there's quite a variety in that as well. So there's quite a variety of ethnicities and ages in there, different styles. So it's the first, other than the Soldiers 2 that they did, it's just a very rare to have an all-female plastic box set. And it's really cool that Frostgrave are making more and more of them. They're almost getting to the point now where they're making a male and female box of everything they do. And the fact that people are buying it's a really good sign as well, so that other people will follow suit because it's a lot of money to invest. But that box set, like the first Wizards and the first Soldiers and the second Soldiers, those box sets, they are, as Peter says, very flexible. They just have a million pieces in them, make so much variety. And even if you're not making all of those figures, the bits that you get, the little bags and torches and all those are ace. That Lady Wizards box set is beautiful. It's just one of those where I look at it and go, oh, if I'd made that, I'd be so proud, which is a good thing. So yeah, I really like it.
What about this? Trees, roots, logs, plants, with animals on them.
That's the wildlife, friends. Woodland critters from Bad Squiddo Scenics.
Brilliant.
This was
I painted them yesterday.
Yeah. Have you got Rem's picture?
I have, which we'll get to very shortly.
So, these were released quite early into the pandemic, and they made me really happy because it was just something really nice. Because we're all doing war, and there's always lots of war stuff. And it's just some nice little critters hanging out in the forest.
Hedgehogs.
Just lovely.
Badgers.
Great animals of farthing woods.
It's like
Lots
a fox
of
there.
uses for them. Yeah, little fox, a
Squirrel.
weasel.
Where's the weasel?
There's a weasel on the bendy log.
Oh, up there.
Like the hedgehog, yeah. It is a weasel.
Yes.
It's not my guinea pig Nini, although.
Oh, I
Can
thought
be
it was a
bad.
stoat. When I painted it, I went on
yeah,
Google.
stoat.
And went to stoat.
Oh,
That's still
yeah,
some-
stoats, weasel. They're all the
It's
same.
a stoaty weasel.
long rodents.
Not a fox.
An owl up there, of course.
Yeah, it just makes me
I like it a
happy
lot.
because
I like that
it's
ladybug
nice.
is huge.
Yeah.
Massive for it.
Now,
Enormous ladybug. It's like
Yeah.
this big.
before we go on, I have to air a grievance, actually. Not at this. I was just reminded of this with the shape of this log reminded me of a baguette.
Oh, this is a bit traumatic, actually.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So,
I don't know if I can deal with it again.
Yes, so we had a shopping delivery today, which was supposed to include 8 baguettes, the kind that you can put in the freezer and then take them out and cook them in the oven. 8. And Tesco have this service with the delivery where you can tick a little box and say, if this isn't available, we'll provide an adequate replacement. And what would you say is an adequate replacement for 8 baguettes when they haven't got any? Would you think 8 slightly different baguettes, perhaps?
That makes sense.
Well, how about 2 baguettes?
What? Are they just super large, or is just like, oh, and just 2?
They
whatever?
are larger. They are larger.
Only mildly.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not enough for 8.
2
There
of
was
them.
a lot of screaming. There was a lot of screaming.
From the pigs or from you guys?
From Andy, I had to get in between him and the Tesco guy. Go, whoa, he's just the deliverer. He doesn't have a choice in the matter.
He didn't choose it.
Yeah, so an official complaint has been lodged.
And we will therefore have we in our baguettes for the future.
I can also exclusively reveal that Annie's camera has frozen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It may need to
What
be
have you
disabled
done?
and re-enabled, otherwise you'll look very neutral for the rest of the show.
Oh no.
It's fortunate, though, that it didn't freeze while you were, like
Yeah. Hey!
mid-face expression. Okay. We've got past the baguette. So,
Baguette incident.
next. Why, it's 2 ladies dancing.
Oh, I like this one.
Bad Squid Games again.
It sure is.
Only for making things for the new year, not just recycling shit.
Is this like a celebration of Victory Day?
Yeah.
Ah,
This is 2 ladies dancing. One of
Love
them's
it.
in the ATS, is the like the women's army basically, and the other is a civilian, and they're having a lovely dance. But the one in the lovely dress has the cap from the other lady, and they're having a bit of a jolly. She's going,
Ah.
hee hee, I've got your cap. And they may or may not be gals who are really good pals.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm sure in the history book there'll be a little caption underneath. 2 ladies, clearly very good friends, enjoying a friendly dance. In a
They
very
lived
platonic
together for 60
way.
years after the war as very good friends.
Well, this is giving me an idea. $1 million,
Okay.
potentially $1 million. What? $1 million
Carry on,
idea.
There you go.
So like the Roaring Twenties, right?
Yeah.
Well, that happened a couple of years after the Spanish flu finished up, right? So, what if we had a line of miniatures coming out celebrating the Roaring Twenties? Do you know what I mean? Because there might be a new Roaring Twenties, and everyone can go out and celebrate, right? After
That is
this
true.
pandemic finished.
Yes.
There you go. See, you're not
Yeah.
laughing now, are you? I can see the pound
No.
signs going in your head now. It's like, wow, that was actually $1 million idea.
Cha-ching.
Yes, Rem.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yes.
I'm worried.
Is that the sound of Remington's investment in Bad Squiddo contract being slowly shredded?
No way, if Rem gives me money, I'll make a whole load of Roaring Twenties figures. They got some wicked styles going on there.
What do you think? Can Andy be a character in
make-
that? You can be the party pooper. You can be coming down and
Oh,
stopping people
Buzz
from having fun.
Killington. These gifts don't look too good.
We've got a work in progress picture here from the Remster.
oh, you can see it all now.
Look at
Yes,
that.
I basically I was worried that because I didn't wash this one. I can't remember if you told me I had to wash it with soap and water, so I just put base coat on it. Come out really well. I'm really looking forward to painting it.
That's
It
pretty
reminds
cool.
me
I
of
did wash it with acetone and scrub it with the brush before, so maybe it was okay.
oh, bless you. Wow, I don't even know what acetone is. Wow, I just put the paint on. That's cool.
Well, it wasn't acetone. It was PG. What was it? It's anyway isopropyl alcohol. That's what it is. Jesus, IPA. I think Whatever.
Chemicals.
Chemicals that you're supposed to wash these things in. That's all I know.
Ah,
So we can
Oh,
look
wow,
forward to
I'm
seeing
very
that finished
grateful.
next week.
it looks
Really
brilliant.
good. You can see the detail more now. It's undercoated
Yeah.
as well.
I can't wait to paint it. How heroic he looks. How
Yeah.
joyous.
How heroic as he
Very.
turns his back on the forces of good and takes the coward's way out and joins chaos.
Oh.
Let's have a look at some of the stuff you've been painting then. So,
Yeah.
let's zoom in, shall we?
Oh.
Let's zoom all the way in
Oh.
because
Look at that. You'll see some burnt Squiddo bases
Yes.
put onto my Wild Riders, which I finished.
They look
Look,
ace.
little badgers. Putting out the little log there.
Set.
It looks better in real life, trust me. That's the bunny rabbit. There's a little fox.
They look really nice.
Oh, bless you. They don't seem too worried that there's a stag jumping right over their head.
Probably chill for it.
It works really well on those bases. I like
It's true.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
So
look,
if you-
hedgehogs!
It worked really, really well. And
Oh, they're cool.
There
They're
you
little
go, you
badgers.
little
Look
badger.
there.
why would they be concerned? Maybe they like
Oh.
guinea pigs, and when there's a legitimate threat, then they're not at all concerned. And then when something like drops a penny on the floor a mile away, they'll run for cover.
my favourite was the fox, though. I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of mileage in the foxes. What do you think?
Thank you. That all looks good. That looks ace with that set.
So good.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Bad Squiddo Games, for
No.
making so awesome races for my wood elves.
Ching ching.
Yeah.
Well,
Another
Stu
bad Squiddo
has to go because of child reasons, but he's wished everyone a plague-free New Year.
You too. Have a good one.
Cheers, Duke.
Okay, now it's time for everyone's favourite segment of the week. Everyone's favourite while there's no Forest of Rem anyway, because as we know, Witch Coven doesn't quite measure up. It's actually, what the hell is that? So it's a celebratory themed, as we're heading towards the new year rapidly. So prepare your eyeballs, get them nicely polished, and get those brains in gear, because when we come back from this short video intro, only be one. Here we go. So, look at that. It's a scene of wild celebration going on there, fireworks going off. But which miniature has hidden itself within them? I don't think this one's too difficult, actually. I think someone will get this in about 4 seconds.
I
I've already got
recognise
it on
that.
small though. Not large.
Someone's going to get it
Okay.
immediately. Someone in the chat, not Remington.
Can I mention that I haven't sent the prize to the person from the last one yet?
Yes.
Did they
But
message?
I will. I got the email and then I ran out of time to reply, but don't worry, you will get the prize.
Well,
somebody's
any
gonna get it.
guesses? We've got one guess. Loic says Hurricanum, and then William Matthew
Oh.
follows up with Celestial Hurricanum.
No.
Oh. Well, it does look like apart from that set, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the...
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's like I wish I could help, but I'm just here.
Who
else got
I'm hovering over the reveal solution because I think someone's going to get it in literally moments.
It's the
Maybe?
thing on the right that I don't recognise. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I recognise the thing on the left.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Haven't seen any other comments. You want to give a hint?
On somebody.
Is it-
I don't think it
are
needs
they
to be a
like-
hint because the one thing that's been ruled out makes it very easy now, I think.
Are they magical spells?
No.
Oh. Are they part of Sigmar's army?
Perhaps.
That's probably yes, because Andrew's gone quiet.
Kind of.
Hmm.
Oh, the Luminarch of Hish.
William Matthews.
There you go.
Hey.
Although the logo is obscuring it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh.
let's move it a little bit and take the risk that I don't drag everything out of place on the screen. Nope. Thing selected.
What the hell is that?
There you go. I'll temporarily drag it over people's faces. You can see it in all its glory. There you go. Look at that. Well done.
That's a great model, that is. I've got that model.
That is that. So it's now time for the finale. What has been an epic roller coaster ride of excitement, chaired by Mr. Remington. And are we going to get a live performance of the intro theme for this, the finale?
Oh.
It's time.
Okay, can you hear that guitar?
Yes.
Witch Coven, Andy the Younger in Witch Coven, I said Witch Coven, Andy the Younger in Witch Coven, Andy the Younger is getting down, he's getting down and dirty in Witch Coven, they'll slap him, they'll sacrifice him, it's Andy the Younger in Witch Coven, Witch Coven, Witch Coven.
Very nice.
Thank you. I mostly made that up. That's got the butterfly in it.
The dice ready. Ready to face off with
I've
these
got a
two vile
dice now.
witches.
Oh god, I have mine.
Right. Well, let's refresh yourselves and the audience with what the hell is going on in possibly the greatest, the baddest, in a good way, gaming system and roleplay adventure ever created. Yes, ever created. Why? Because I said so. This is part 7, the final part of Witch Coven. Andy is a hapless Ungor who wants to become popular again in his tribe, and to do so, he must do something that no Ungor has ever done before, and that is claim as his bride the chieftain's daughter, who unfortunately he accidentally put a spell on, and now she is incapacitated. But Andy has promised the beast herd that he will come back with glory and bring back a goblet from the Witch Coven with witch brew in it, which will revive the Beast Maiden and revive Andy's rankings in the tribe. Who knows? Perhaps he could either one day grow his horns and become a beast lord himself, but he's so far away from that right now. But because Andy has been transformed into a dark elf eunuch by a bitter dark elf slaughter queen by the name of Morgwyn. Are you guys following this still? Yes, of course you are. And the heroic Annie plays the part of Borsch, a high priestess of Cain. And the unmatched Batzuka is Melissa, a slaughter queen herself, and a rival of Morgwyn. Andy, as you may have realized, is caught in the middle of a deadly chess game between two factions. And we ended last show with Andy stuck in the middle between two ravaging witch elf ladies.
All my henchmen
And
were
a rival.
slaughtered as well.
Oh yes, this henchman has been slaughtered.
Yep.
And and Morgwyn, who is a I wouldn't say young and beautiful, but possibly more ancient and knowledgeable, possibly decrepit. Anyway, what are you going to do, Andy? This episode is called Fight or Deal. You like that? Fight or Deal? Or Fight or Deal?
No.
So, what are you going to do, Andy? Are you going to fight off these witches once and for all? You've summoned Morgwyn, by the way, but it seems like she thinks you've betrayed her. Are you going to fight or are you going to strike a deal?
Well, I think striking a deal isn't working on any of these people. I think they're too crafty. So, rather than just fighting them head on, I think the best way would be to taunt Morgwyn to use some kind of devastating, shriveling spell. But I'll stand directly in front of the other elves, the other witches, and then leap out the way at the last second so that they get hit by the devastating attack.
Okay, I guess you should roll a dice. Do you think Morgwyn is going to be so easily persuaded by an Ungor? Let's find out, shall we? Roll the dice. You need to roll a 2 or less.
Can I tell you my taunt first?
Yes.
It's going to go something like this. I bet you can't cast a shrivel ray on me, Morgwyn. Ah. And here's the dice roll. It's a 1.
A 1?
Oh.
Oh dear. Morgwyn points her finger and it feels like a curse is being spoken. Girls, what are you going to do? She's pointing the finger and she can't decide which one she should strike with her curse. It's almost like she's going eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Do you want to do a counter spell between you or Melissa?
What? Isn't she pointing it at the Ungor?
No, the Ungor has incited her.
Can
Oh,
I
she's attacking
counterspell?
us.
What's the thing I can do?
Yes. She's
I
about
want
to
to
cast a curse on you.
counterspell.
She's
Heck
fickle.
off with that.
We can shield it. We'll shield it.
You are her
Oh, yeah.
rivals. You ousted her from the Witch Coven, and she
Can
wants
we-
Yeah, we'll
it
do.
back.
Can we
We'll do a
together as one
reflect spell
do a shield
between
yeah,
us,
like-
so we join and it goes.
Yes. And
and
conjoin our
shrivels the back.
powers.
You
Yeah,
could always use Andy as a shield.
That is true.
that's true. But we do have uses for him.
Yes.
Okay.
We have a plan.
So, what are you going to do? A counter curse, or are you going to absorb the curse and relish it?
Reflect the curse
Reflect
back
it.
onto her.
Reflect curse.
Yes.
Well, that's a new
Together with
spell,
the
isn't it?
powers combined.
Together with your power combined. Well, for this purpose,
Friendship.
you both need dice and roll them together, and let's see what your score is. A combined counter curse.
4.
A
5.
4 and a 5. Wow. And just because Morgwyn is very powerful, I will also roll 2 dice because she did cast a spell first. And she rolls a 7. And what's happened is her curse has been deflected onto Andy.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, the ruse is over, Andy, for you feel as if the veil has somewhat been lifted, a shroud has been cleared, and before the very eyes of the witch coven, the dark elf eunuch has vanished, and in its place is a snivelling Ungor, and his true form has been revealed. I think are shocked.
Lies! We
So
knew
you're
it was
shocked.
lies. We knew it was lies.
Sensing that I'm
So you-
exposed and kind of flopping in the wind as an Ungor here, I think I can sense that the two witches are more than a match for Morgwyn. So I think I should try and win their favour by picking up my Ungor shortbow and trying to fire an arrow directly at Morgwyn's eyeball.
Well, Andy, wouldn't this be an opportunity to grab a goblet and fill it with the
Not while they're all
blood?
looking at me and saying, "Ha, you're an Ungor."
Well,
Ungor.
I think Melissa and Borsch are both shocked and,
But they'll be
disgusted.
impressed if I can accurately take out the eyeball of Morgwyn.
Their temple has been defiled, desecrated by this animal on two
Ungor.
legs. But Andy, you do still have the power of human speech, strangely enough. That part of the curse has not been lifted.
Yes, and with my human speech, I'll say, "Take this, Morgwyn, right in your eyeball," as I fire the arrow.
Now, bear in mind, Ungor raiders aren't the best at anything, really, let alone shooting. But shooting is what they are supposed to do. Let's see how you do. You need a 5 to hit.
It's a 2.
It's
But it's the effort that counts.
It's
At
the
this point,
Ungor.
Morgwyn, she can't stop laughing.
They can see what
she's
spirit I've got
laughing.
now.
That Ungor hates her. Let us use him.
If only he could sing.
Stay back, ladies. He's my pet to do what I will.
He's our pet now. Maybe he should sing a song to us all.
Oh, God.
Sing a song or we cut your throats.
If you
Yes.
sing, the bond with us is sealed, and you shall not be under her control.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, Christ.
Sing it. Sing the song.
Hold on.
Sing it. Sing it.
Which
amazing adventure has
coven?
turned
Which
into a bingo.
coven? How did I find myself in the witch coven? 3 witches that do not care. I am an Ungor, and I am laid bare. Witch coven, witch coven, favor me with your blessing. Witch coven, which way will the witch coven go? I'm guessing it'll end well for me. Ah.
He's saying
Andy's song finishes. He looks up and he sees the face of Morgwyn in tears. She's never heard such beautiful song, sung with such sincerity. How do the other witches react to this?
I cry tears of blood.
Can I jump under there with the goblet?
I think this might be a good opportunity, Andy, to strike some kind of deal. Be the middleman and maybe unite your forces. Isn't it time you reclaimed your birthright?
Okay. I'm going to approach 2 witches and whisper to them out of Morgwyn's hearing range. I can assist you. You get her attention and I'll stab her in the knee.
Can't defeat Morgwyn. Your singing's very nice. But...
It's not as good as my stabbing ability. And then
Morgwyn
you can just let me have a
open
goblet.
herself up, Andy. She starts to open herself up. She says, "The singing reminded me of a child I once knew, who was taken from me. I used to sing the child to sleep."
Yes, come over here and sing me to sleep. And then I turn to the 2 witches.
No!
Wait,
Morgwyn, tell us more.
Tell us more.
Morgwyn steps slowly towards you while she's talking. "Yes, the child was very precious to me. And the sound of your voice, Ungor, sounded like something I haven't heard in a very, very long time." And right at that moment, she draws a dagger and stabs out at Melissa and Borsch. You've left yourself exposed to the devilishness of the ex-slaughter queen. She's going to
Based on my
She might
words, can I
well-
also say that I had my dagger ready to strike as she was approaching as well, and try to sneak one in?
No, but that's like taking a turn back, isn't it? I can't do that.
But I
Andy.
already
Let her
declared
have
I was
her
going to stab
turn.
her.
That is true.
She's rolled a 3 for one attack, and she's rolled 2 3s. A 3's enough for a slashing wound on both of you. So, Melissa, you get a slash right across your chest there that draws blood. Immediately, drawing the attention of the Ungor for blood is something he's obviously relishes as a beastman. And the second slash pierces your shoulder, Bosh, and you feel a stabbing sharp pain. But you are both still on your feet, and a retaliatory attack may be
Yeah.
in order.
Going for it. I also go for stabs.
Going for the stab.
Yep.
You've
Can I
you've
power
got-
up? Can I power up Melissa's stabs? Instead of us both stabbing, I'll do a stab boost.
Well,
with
there is a
friendship.
trident. There is a trident leaning up against the cauldron, sometimes used to poke victims inside it, sometimes used to stir the pot. But it's also a decent speary weapon. Do you want to grab all 4 hands on it and thrust it at the slaughter queen?
Should we do that?
Of course you do.
While that's going
Yeah.
on, can I attempt to stab Morgwyn in the foot?
Only the foot.
Morgan really isn't that bad, Andy. She's got you this far. How could you betray her? Anyway, roll the dice, ladies.
Let's go.
What's the score?
What did you say?
See.
I got a 1.
You got one.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know the system.
Right, let's just roll.
Over this ram.
Morgwyn rolls a 1. So unfortunately for her, she gets skewered by
The friendship trident.
Virgin Trident.
Right, I'm gonna roll to stab her in the foot now. Rolling to stab her in the
immediately,
foot.
as Andy's like
Got 3.
waving his little Ungor way with his little dagger. You two have already picked her up via the spear trident and dangled her over the cauldron as her body is flailing. You see magical energies and purple mist leaving the center of her body as all the curses she ever cast leaves her body. And then she is plunged into the cauldron of blood with a hiss.
Bloosh.
I have a proposition
And
for the
there-
witches.
Was the end of Morgwyn.
I have a proposition. O mighty witches, grant me 1 goblet of witches' brew to take back to my tribe, and in return I shall open Andy the Ungor's School of Music, and every year I shall deliver my star pupil to perform a song for you.
Can we eat the pupil afterwards?
Yes.
Ooh.
What do you think, Melissa?
I'm not too bad. Music does have a lot of wild magic in it that will
Yes,
charge the
yes,
pot.
they're delicious singers.
Yes,
They taste
delicious
nice
singers.
with their tunes.
Seems, Andy, you've made 2 very powerful allies.
And I offer up my goblet.
The Witch Coven has been. What's the word?
Fulfilled.
Fulfilled, completed. Andy has found the Witch Coven. He's got the goblet of blood. All that remains is the epilogue of this story.
Wait,
Oh,
does he have to use the goblet? We have these takeaway cups. That was the little red solo
It's-
cup.
yeah, I found the witch cover and all I got was this cup.
Yeah.
Andy
And then
was
I'm the
left with-
stupid t-shirt.
Andy
Yeah.
is going to be left with a decision. Does he return to his tribe with the uncertainty of whether or not he will be killed on arrival? Or does he want to stay in the Witch Coven and be the plaything, the bard, the courtier?
Well, I've seen how
Coven.
pickish they get at the sound of bards, so I'm going to return with the blood.
We have a deal. He's giving us yearly sacrifices.
Yeah, I'll be adored
So-
by the tribe, and then offer up yearly sacrifices.
So many moons pass by until we see the next scene, okay? And the next scene is basically Andy arriving back at his tribe, accompanied by 2 cowled figures with hoods on, walking with an elegance and grace that could only be royalty. And they have a party of hooded guards protecting them. Andy hobbles back to the tribe, and soon word of his re-arrival spreads amongst the beast herd. Grunting, snorting, hoofing can be heard for miles around as the whole beast herd gathers back to welcome back their hero. For Andy the Encore is holding in his hands the chalice filled from the cauldron of blood. Kimchi, the leader of the Bray herd, approaches you. What is this you bring us?
I deliver you the witch's brew.
Come. He takes you and the 2 cowled witches over to his beast cave. And there, lying on the floor, still writhing in an agony, in some strange, delirious coma, is Uglorg, the beast maiden. She's not quite how you remembered her. I think all these travels, Andy, seeing the world, seeing the beauty of the many different folk you've encountered, has changed you somewhat. Still, you feel a lot of empathy towards this poor beast maiden lying in agony. This is your moment. Are you going to drink from the cup, offer it to Kimchi, or are you going to give Uglorg a drink from the cauldron of blood?
I'm going to deliver the brew to Uglug.
Faithful. Faithful. Droplets of the blood pour into the mouth of Uglorg, and slowly she stops writhing, looks up, bats her eyelids, and sees her rescuer, Andy the Ungor. Kimchi nods. You are worthy. Well done. You are worthy of the beast herd. But who are these 2 elf people you bring with you?
They are
What
good
is their
friends of
purpose?
mine, and they seek the finest beast music.
What you mean?
The music of the beasts. They seek it in exchange for great riches and influence.
And then at that moment, Andy holds back his head and brays. And at that moment, the whole tribe brays with him. And the 2 witch elves have never heard such a horrible sound in their lives. For it is the sound of the beast forest screaming.
Oh no. Oh.
Chaos.
Oh no.
Oh. This isn't what I wanted at all.
Your adventure ends here. The end.
Ooh.
The titles come up. Andy somehow got to the witch coven and made it home again. What happens next? Who knows? Do the witch elves completely exterminate his tribe? Probably. But
They
Andy
should.
will forever
Yeah,
live in glory in that moment. There you go.
Yay!
Well done,
Witch
Andy.
Coven.
I don't think it was ever in doubt.
Don't know. Thought we were all gonna die at one point there.
True, honestly.
Well,
No
Mr.
natural beast music though.
No.
We were lied to.
Lies again.
Mr.
Very good.
Remington,
Andy,
how do you
did you
feel?
enjoy that?
How do you feel, first of all, about the shoe being on the other foot and you having to conjure up this magical world for people to explore?
I think it was very entertaining. I didn't know what was going to happen next from second to second or minute to minute, but I think we got through it quite well. Imagination was there. There wasn't any dark, mysterious places that I kept going on about. It was like new stuff, Andy, new characters, new adventures, unexpected turns. I think
Emotional
that's what
roller
people want.
coasters.
emotional roller coasters. That's what you get with the Witch Coven. I think, on balance of things, it was definitely a level up from the Forest of Rem, which was good.
I don't know. I kind of miss the dimly lit spaces.
Yes, I think
Dimly
dimly lit
lit.
needs to come back.
But what
Too many
what what
candles.
what could be next after Witch Coven, Andy? How are you going to top that?
Well, I've got a few things up my sleeve, and I think I'll try and finalise something and make an announcement next week. Something even spicier and more
Will there be a
succulent.
logo to go with it?
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Mm.
You guys make me work a lot, I will say that.
And on that note, I believe it's about time to start wrapping up the episode.
Like a present.
Ooh.
Yes, like a present indeed. Like a present left under the Christmas tree and then found several days later behind the sofa where it was nudged. It's like a special extra bonus. Anyone ever had one of those?
I don't. So maybe.
Anyway,
It'd be cool if it was a hint and there was one just there.
I know. I was really wondering if there was
no,
just one. That would have been
no.
amazing.
And it's
It's
not
okay.
crabs.
oh yeah, no, let's not play that.
Not crabs.
Ooh. But hey, the show is a gift.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Every week, you get to open the gift again and again and again. And you have that first taste of excitement every Tuesday. You get stock tips, you get gaming news, you get live role-playing action, you get more things.
Expertly
Yeah.
placed adverts.
No.
Yes, subtle adverts. And I think it's time to say goodnight. But don't forget to like the video, obviously. And a couple of things before we go. So first of all, let's have another look at the very professionally made thumbnail here, which I can find. But I will
And
find
subscribe
it.
if you haven't subscribed. You might not have.
Yeah,
You've
you
got
can-
to.
well.
If for some reason you haven't subscribed, then do that immediately.
Now.
And look at the inconsistent effects on the faces on this thumbnail as well.
I thought it was very realistic. I saw it and thought, oh, can't remember wearing that.
Remington can remember being essentially a goat.
Funny.
Double
You're a
nose.
goat that one time.
A goat who's done a lot of abdominal exercises.
Yes.
A lot, looking at that. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, check out Remington's channel if you want disappointment, check out Bad Squiddo Games, the website and the YouTube channel, especially every Sunday morning, soon to be featuring the theme song as well. Don't forget to check out Rad Bat Designs on Facebook or Batzuka on Twitch for PC game streaming, which is a thing that some people do, even on this channel with Vermintide, in fact. That happens from time to time. Don't forget to watch that and show your support. And all that remains now, before saying goodbye, is to hand out personal thanks to the patrons who have pledged to the specified level to receive this personalised, extra spicy, juicy, succulent, tender, moist thanks each episode. So, extra special New Year festive thanks to the following people. Thanks to Graham, Kim, John, Eric, Barbara, and Guy. All of you, extra spicy, succulent, tender thanks. And to everyone else out there, you're not on that list, ask yourself why. It's because you
Probably
don't
if you think-
donate enough money to this show. If you don't want to do that, at least like the video. Should open the video telling people to like it really, like all the big YouTubers do. But no, I'm not a sellout. By the way, check out Redbubble and PayPal me lots of money and stuff.
Yeah.
On that note, good night out there. And a happy new year. Whatever you
Andy and Remington Steel Show on your screens tonight. It's the Andy and Remington Steel Show for your home delight. We're talking about Age of Sigmar and anything else that is cool. Talking about